Amici di Virgin Radio, è con grandissimo piacere che riospitiamo davanti ai nostri microfoni Green Day. Welcome guys, how's it going?
Good. Good, thanks for having us.
It's a pleasure to be here to talk about the new records. The last time we met was like 10 years ago. What do you think people will remember of these last 10 years?
That's a long time, 10 years. So, I don't know, I think people will remember, as far as Green Day you're talking about?
I'm talking in general,
Right.
like your personal experience or people in general about what went through the world.
I think people will remember.
They'll remember not being addicted to their social medias.
Yeah, this is where, of the last 10 years, this is where shit made a bad turn.
Maybe they'll remember not you being on the phone as much.
Okay, that's a good advice, by the way. That's a good advice. But we're here to talk about the new records. First of all, motherfuckers, can we say that this is a fun record in your discography? Like less political than the one we get used to?
It's a fun record.
Yeah, I think it kind of reflects like I think it's the kind of music that we've incorporated into our record with messing with things like Motown and soul music and garage rock, a lot of music, hand claps and songs that make you want to dance. So I think that's the fun part of it for sure.
Because there's, watching the cover of the album, there's a quote of American Idiot on the image. So there's a little bit of that feeling goes inside of that, or is just you move to a completely different sound?
I think we've really moved on a lot especially since American Idiot, and I think with that it was sort of like a message that we sort of defacing our own mural. So it's I think the message is like nothing's sacred, so you might as well have a good time.
I was thinking about the new addition to the band that it's a close friend of you, like Kevin. I think that probably he's been an influence too on this record. I was at Oibo Club in Milan when you took the instruments from Prima Donna to perform a very intimate show. It was a part of this Motown New Soul arrangement on the record as well, or it's just something that came straight from you?
No, he had nothing to do with it. He's a good friend of mine, and he's got great taste in music, but no, for us it's just, this is kind of music that we've always listened to, and so it was, we didn't want to throw out like the Green Day's kind of energy that we're proud of. So it's just trying to incorporate new elements that we've never done before.
Yeah, some of those elements reminds me a little bit of, like you said, the garage era, thinking about some bands like The Ice, for example, from Sweden, a little bit of New York Dolls in some arrangements. Am I forgetting something out of the creation process on this record?
Well, yeah, I think you're hearing like anything from Smokey Robinson to a little bit of Prince, especially in the song Father of All Motherfuckers, and also, T-Rex,
Oh yeah, we play a lot of different types of music, just as musicians we do, and it takes a long time to sort of make its way. It may take a long time for it to make its way into sort of the Green Day filter, or us getting in a room and really kind of hammering out how this works for the Green Day sound. But it's definitely showing off some of our influences.
How much the Bay Area scene influenced you in this record especially? Because I was thinking about like your friend Tim Armstrong project, Wichita, that was like new soul little anthem he came out with. So probably also be surrounded by so much talented musician, it influenced you, and living there, it's probably part of the creation process.
Well, I think the diversity living in the Bay Area has always been, anything from, the hippie movement to the punk rock movement to, Black Panther Party has always been in the concrete of especially the East Bay. So, but I mean, as far as musically, I mean, we were just trying to be a good influence on each other, really. I mean, it's like it becomes the older that you get, it's more rare that you find like musicians that keep going and keep doing it. So it's hanging out with like our we started a cover band just to go and have some fun, and I think that things like that is what you always kind of bring into Green Day.
Thinking about the East Bay scene again, and thinking about the tour you're about to do, the Hella Mega tour, this is gonna blend a lot of different generations. So we got the '94 fans, then we got some post-emo fans with Fall Out Boy, and then the newcomers with the Interrupters as well. How do you think these generations will blend together in this tour?
It's gonna be great. It's a lot of songs that people have heard. A lot of everybody from all the bands, we all get along, and I think it's going to be. I'm looking forward to it, and I know like between like the sound check and when we open doors, we're going to be like, we'll have these giant baseball fields to play games on, and hopscotch and pin the tail on the Wookiee, and things like that. So we're going to have a good time, and I think that the audience is going to, see us having fun and kind of get that vibe.
The second single out of this new record, you named Baseball, but it's connected to the National Hockey League. Are you a sports fan? Which league, which teams?
Ray's a big hockey fan.
I like hockey.
Some hockey.
I like me some hockey. I like me some football. I like me some American soccer. That's a little joke there.
Yeah. No, it's brand new. It's really going on pretty well.
Sports is great. I love, Roman Greco wrestling.
There is a word that has always been part of your discography. That word is revolution. What does this word mean to you after all these years?
You looking at me? I think
revelation.
revolution or revelation. I think.
That's good, man.
That's kick it.
Kick that thing. Smash
I think revolution is just about like. When things seem to start to burn down, is to create something new. That could just be something in your own life, or I think like punk rock was a very revolutionary idea, and like when I got into it, rock music was a very revolutionary idea. So it's I think that in the literal sense of like what goes on in different countries and stuff like that. So.
Exactly. In different countries, especially in this moment, there is a brand new generation of people raising their voice. I'm thinking about Barcelona, Hong Kong, Chile, and what's happening in the world. It means there is a little bit more activism. Like you said, San Francisco, the 70s and the late 60s. Can you see a little bit of that movement growing up again right now?
I think you see it. People are, it's good when people take to the streets. And they're it's not just tweets and rhetorical, but they actually get up and get out there and say something and use their voices. And I think, you can see where younger generations are actually getting in the streets and saying, okay, we're tired of this old way of thinking, which is, just old men in power.
As a worldwide band, you bring the light to on a lot of different arguments and things. Thinking about music. You bring the light on a lot of different bands, on a whole scene with documentaries, by remembering people who passed away even recently, like Kim from the Muffs, Steve Soto from the Adolescents. Do you think you got a responsibility for the new generation, like you're kind of an historical memory for them and the new generation to come, not to forget about the pioneers of the music we love?
No, I don't think I'm not one to try to tell people what to do or what to listen to or what, I think I just, if there's someone that I feel like someone that I'm sincerely going to miss, like someone like Kim Shattuck, then of course I'm going to honor her as a songwriter, and she was great. She's funny, and she was her own woman. So it's, I think, the thing about kids is they don't want to listen to anybody. They want to create their own thing, and I think that if anything, I'd rather just be a good listener for them.
By saying that, you underline a very old school value of the punk scene, that it's do it yourself, like creating your own thing, because everybody can do it. How much that value and that approach is changed through the years, and in your opinion? Back in the days, fanzines and small clubs, Gilman, and nowadays maybe everybody can upload their own songs on Spotify as well. So there's a radical change in that.
Well, I think it's just presented differently. I mean, kids will write something and they'll put it online themselves. Like, it's the same sort of thing we would do with a demo tape on a cassette. It's just presented differently.
What's your relation with social media nowadays? Like you said, stay away from the phone. That's a good advice. But at the same time, sometimes saying something throughout that, it makes you feel like closer to your audience. Not only the funk base and the email and stuff, but like a deeper and faster connection to those people who've been listening to you for their own life. That's the good part of the social media. Is the only one we should save from our phone using.
The way I try to use social media, I'll be pretty active just on Instagram, and but then there'll be times where I'll just shut it down because I just need to have a break from it. The thing about being a songwriter is I'm able to kind of form my thoughts a little bit more about emotionally and politically or personally, or which way you want to think about it. But on social media, people seem to kind of do things and say things without thought. And that's the thing that I try to stay away from as much as I can, because I think it's a lot of people will become like an avatar version of themselves. So it's so for me, I just try to put out something that's positive and funny or fun or something like that without trying to tell people like what I think or whatever. I try to do that more in like songs.
And that's another value from the old school punk era, like the positive mentality attitude. That is something that probably the new generation should use more and more, instead of maybe using 18 sentences on Facebook or stuff like that. Thinking about the fact that you're about to play this record live, what is going to be the feeling with the rest of your discography and the rest of the set list that you're going to put together for the Hella Mega Tour?
I think that's the fun part. We will see. That's it. I mean, it's exciting for us to find out how it evolves to our live show too. We have some ideas and some things we already know how they're going to fit in, and then the other things are just going to be, the next step in Green Day's live show.
That's great. And the very last question is about the future for you as human beings. I mean, how is going to be? Like, we started the interview talking about the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. The next 10 years, in your opinion, how they will evolve, humanly talking and musically speaking?
Well, that's easy. The next 10, maybe 20 years tops, we're going to keep writing music and putting out records. But artificial intelligence is going to grow to something completely scary. And we're all going to be enslaved by our robot overlords. So, but we'll still be making music.
That's not very positive mentality, but it's reality.
Yeah,
probably.
Depends if you're a robot or not.
Yeah. Yes, I guess we're not. Probably.
You're not.
Robots with big dicks.
Oh, that's great. That's great for the fun records, for the fun parts. Mm. Guys, it's been a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, thanks, man.
Thank you. Thank you.